the most rare Germany stamps of value. These 1951 stamps were issued in two series, one with a face value of 10 cents, the other of 20 cents. Green and red, they represent the stained glass windows of the Lübeck Cathedral, a cathedral built in 1173 in Lübeck, a city located in the north of Germany. On the other, the wording translated 700 years of Mary, commemorating the 700th anniversary of the apparition of the Madonna before Saint Simon, prior general of the Carmelite order in 1251. Today one of these stamps can be worth about $260. These stamps of the German Federal Republic of 1951 were issued in three pieces with a postal value of 30,80 and 90 cents. In blue, red and green, they have the image of the horn below the nominal value. Around it is written in German, which translated means German Federal Post. This intact three-piece series is valued at around $280 today. There are 32 varieties of different colors of this stamp issued from 1851 to 1865. Better known as the Baden stamps, translated means swimming, of various face values. Today some of these can be worth around $520 a piece, while if you have the entire collection, can be worth about $1,730. The stamps of Thuringia of 1945 represent the Christmas of the year 1945. Issued in only three nominal values, 3, 4 and 5, in the center you can see some trees with a sun behind them that illuminates them. They were issued during the Christmas period, in remembrance of the fallen who fought against fascism and Nazism. One of these particular stamps can be worth around $700. These particular stamps were issued between 1940 and 1950. They represent the busts of famous people, men and women, who have been part of the world of church, politician and royal families. Of various face value, they have the particularity of having the stamps of the censorship of the Third Reich. Today, one of these very rare pieces can be worth around $1,000. The two German Reich stamps of the year 1934 depict the faces of two people who have become very famous in the world. The first stamp, with a value of 2 Reichsmarks, a former currency used in the country, depicts the bust of Otto Lilienthal, a pioneer of German aviation, who became famous for being the inventor of kites capable of lifting some heavier objects or people into the air. He did a lot of experiments and tests, dedicating his whole life to flying. In fact, behind his bust, you will see one of the biggest kites that he invented and personally tested. The blue 3 Reichsmark stamp represents Ferdinand von Zeppelin, Army general and designer of the famous Zeppelin airship, used extensively in the 1900s for the transport of goods and people. Behind his bust, in fact, the avant-garde flying vehicle, the Zeppelin. On both stamps there is an inscription under the face value which translated means German airmail. Today this pair, kept in perfect condition, is worth $300. These two blocks of 10 pieces from 1945 depict the soldiers of the German Nazi army. On the left, the bust of a soldier of the SA army, that is, he was part of the frontline combatant assault unit. On the right, the other stamp depicting the bust of an SS soldier, military volunteers very close to the Nazi ideology. In both pieces, you will notice under the image the inscription in German which translated means Great German Reich. Today these two blocks are worth $350. The series of 3 pieces of the 1931 Polar Journey recall a unique event in the world never reached before, a journey that lasted a week from 24 to July 31, 1931, where the Zeppelin airship is protagonist. You can glimpse it in the background that it is en route with departure from Berlin, destination Norway. A path intended to test the behavior of the airship in Arctic conditions. To the left of the Zeppelin is the translated inscription, Polar Voyage 1931. Under the borders of the planet's hemisphere. On the sides there are several writings in German and the various nominal values, 1, 2 and 4 Reichsmarks. These stamps with the words America and Europe on the sides are worth $475. The stamps of illustrious men, 1926 to 1927, depict the faces of various famous people. You will notice their name imprinted next to each face. Poets, doctors, philosophers, writers, musicians, who have been part of German history since the 18th century. Of various face values and colors, some of these stamps today are worth a few €100, but if you own the full set you will have a value of $480 on hand. The 1933 Wagner stamps represent illustrations of the musical works of Wagner, a German composer and conductor who lived in the 19th century. Musical art developed at the end of the 18th century. In these stamps the image of the theatricality of his musical works is expressed, understandable for those who know better the musical artistic world. Today this entire super sought-after series is worth $840. 1955 GDR stamp set was issued during the time of the German Democratic Republic, which ruled the East German area under the control of the Soviet Union. In all these pieces is depicted Friedrich Engels, sociologist and founder, together with Karl Marx of socialism and communist Marxism. You will notice above his face his name and the date of birth of Friedrich 1820 and the date 1955, which commemorates the anniversary of his death. He died in 1895. With these stamps we commemorate his 60th anniversary from his death. Below the inscription in German, which translated means German Democratic Republic. This set is now worth $30. During the year 1953 Karl Marx's stamps were issued, on the occasion of his 70th anniversary of his death. Symbols and faces of Karl Marx, philosopher, sociologist and politician of the 19th century, founder of the communist Marxism movement, are depicted. In the 6 and 12 Deutsche Mark pieces you will see a flag with the faces of political leaders who have been part of the history of communism on it. Highly sought after pieces. If you own all 6 stamps you will have a $45 value on hand. The pair of stamps from the 1950 Leipzig exhibition were issued during the International Philately event held in Leipzig, a city in the east of Germany. On the 12 mark stamp you will see a magnifying glass over a stamp. On the 84 mark piece you can see a dove superimposed on another stamp. Highly traded pieces in collectibles today are worth $55. Karl Marx's quatrain of 1953 depicts faces of well-known personalities and people of the people. On the 10 mark piece you can see the face of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, both founders of the Marxist socialist movement. On the 16 and 60 mark piece instead the typical peasant class, symbols that have been part of Soviet history. On the last 84 mark piece you can see Karl Marx's face inside a coin. Quatrain very representative today, worth $100. The 1951 Mao Zedong stamps were issued to commemorate the leader of the Communist Party of China who led China for 31 years from 1945 to 1976. Mao was also a Marxist-like revolutionary and politician who allied himself with the Soviet Union to strengthen the policy that both countries supported. In 2 of these stamps you will be able to see the face of Mao, while in another stamp the image of the Soviet population that works to cultivate and contribute to agriculture. Today this set is worth $150.